Hey, what if you delegate a task and when the task is completed, it's actually amazing? It looks like a lot of us humans have a hard time delegating properly. Whether we're delegating to our spouses, to our kids, to our friends, to our employees, to our freelancers, whatever. It looks like we're struggling. We ask them to do something simple, and when they come back, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. Oh my God, are you dumb? It looks like a lot of us have that problem. If you follow these 3 simple things I'm about to show you in this video, I promise you, you will be great at delegating. Everything will come back way better than you expect. So as you may know, I help small businesses look great online, get leads, and I help them get really efficient with their sales and marketing. But when I first started the agency, I really had to work a lot because I was terrible at delegating. I would ask for a red square and it would come back a yellow triangle. I would say low, it will give me high. I will say $300 of budget, they will spend $10,000. I may be exaggerating a bit, but I'm telling you, it was horrible. I thought people were dumb. I thought they couldn't make decisions for themselves. I thought they didn't have a sense of initiative. I thought they were the problem. And I kept on complaining about people until I realized they weren't the problem. My ability was the problem. It was all about me. When I finally realized the problem was me, I started implementing the things I'm about to tell you, and I went from 0 to hero in delegation. I promise you. Most of the times now when we create a website, I'm not involved to onboard the client, I'm not involved during the project, I'm not involved for the delivery, and when I look at the website, I go like, wow, we did this. And over time, the websites we deliver and everything else we deliver is a lot better than what I would have done myself. So here's how I did it. I must have spent 5 years of trial and errors, reading project management books, leadership books, etc. I came up with my own framework. I call it EFD. So E stands for expectations. That's the first thing. You got to communicate your expectations extremely clearly. So first they need to know the objective. Why are we doing this project? Then they need to know the acceptance criteria. I know it sounds a bit fancy, but all that means is the person you delegate a task to needs to know what you will consider failure or success. For the majority of tasks out there, you'll need 100% quality. You don't need it to be extremely detailed. Maybe 5% of tasks need perfection, but 85 to 95% of tasks, they need about 80%. But 85 to 95% of tasks maybe only require 80% quality or 80% right to be accepted. If you're looking for perfection every time, you will not be able to delegate, and everything will take a long time because you'll become a bottleneck. You need to approve everything because you're the only person that, man, stop with the ego, bro. Or sis. The third thing that's very important is the deadline. So they need to know when the task or the project need to be completed. So the fourth thing is they need to know the resources. Resources being budget, time, tools, personnel they can use, whatever. They need to know what the budget is. Most of the time when we talk resources, we talk money. So what's the budget? And the last thing in the expectation layer is paraphrasing. So I'm sure you've noticed that if 5 people listen to one person speaking, if you ask them to give you a summary of the discussion, they will all have a different story, right? So the way people understand what you tell them may be different from person to person. So that's why it's very important to make the person you gave a brief to repeat back in their own words what they learned, what they understood, what the budget was, etc., etc., because you want to make sure you address the little bit of lack of clarity right away from the get-go. So the second component of the EFD framework is follow-ups. So the objective of following up regularly is to make sure we address problems early on, or maybe even prevent problems from arising, and make sure to be there to support your team when they need you. Because if you don't, they may not even tell you, hey, actually we need you, boss. In terms of follow-up, I'm trying to follow up frequently, but not too often, because I want to empower the person. If I'm there all the time, they may take a step back. So you gotta gauge. Let's say you have a project that will last 1 month. You may want to check maybe twice a week, If the person is a little bit more senior, you may want to check with them once a week, maybe. The second thing in follow-ups is you want to ask more questions than to give answers, right? So basically, as a small business owner, I'm sure you're great at solving problems. So people come to you and ask you a question and you find a solution for them. And this will actually kill your ability to delegate. Initially, I was trying to find a solution and frequently I revert back to this mode, but really what I try to do now is ask questions. Hey, how would you do it? What do you think about this? Why not? What blocks you? So I really try to ask open-ended questions to force them to think as opposed to giving them the answer. And the last layer of the framework is debrief. So the objective here is to regroup after the battle and give feedback to your troops so they keep getting better at every iteration. So the number one thing to cover is what went well. So make sure to give positive reinforcement to your team when they did something great. They'll appreciate it. So the second thing is to cover what could have gone better. So what we do now is after a project, I will ask the guy on my team, hey, how did you go according to you from 1 to 10? How do you rate yourself? Oh, why is it not a 10? What do you think you could have improved? You know, that sort of thing. And I also ask them, what do you think I can improve? What is the thing that I did well? What are the things that you think I can do better? So the last part of the debrief is to offer frequent mentoring to your team. Obviously, you cannot do this with everyone. You got to take the best guys on your team or girls, right? And frequently, you want to spend time one-on-one with them, ask them questions. Basically, the goal here is to identify some blockers, things that they're not really good at technically, or they're not really good at spiritually, they're not really good at psychologically or whatever. And you want to cover those things by asking questions and help them get better. If you're interested in running mentoring sessions with your team members, make sure to reach out to me on Instagram, right? Instagram/Steve Pellin. Just reach out to me, slide in my DMs, and I'll send you the template personally, okay? Cool.